Well, hello folks. I just want to give it that minute, let people log on. I'm going to show you some flags here, Spruce Grove, Alberta. That's the RCMP police station. Now there's 3 flags that they hang high now, as they put in the memorial for the Michael Reserve, and I should have tagged Joe Avery in this. You see that flag there, that British flag? It says 1876. They got a British flag with Treaty 6 and the 1876 Indian Act. Indian Act, folks. We talk about rule of law. Rule of law in the country of Canada. That's what we're talking about. I'm going to leave that flag on there for people to see. But this is Canada. There's Canada, Alberta, Treaty 6, and that's the RCMP police station, Spruce Grove, as I pan across. And this is what Canadians and First Peoples don't understand. Talk about rule of law. Rule of law and the ability to enforce it. There's your enforcement, the RCMP. That's what they swear to. The British flag and 1876 Absolute Indian Act, the law over all Indians. It's where the treaties come from, at least all the Western treaties, and those that Ontario and Quebec redrew post-1876. It's also the birth of residential school genocide, history of the scoop, history of everything enacted by your government, enforced by your government against all Canadians and all First Peoples from that day till today, right now, as I shoot this video, as that flag flies high. You see, they say it's British, it's brutal, it's the Indian Act 1876 for the savage Indians. That's what RCMP legally and are legislated to follow forever and a day. Forever and a day. That's the law. It's not Indigenous law. It's not Aboriginal law. It is enforced and enacted, the law of all Indians in Canada. 1876 Indian Act under the British Crown, assumed by all provinces and all of your federal governments, absolutely 100% and entirely. Your 1985 criminal code is based off of that British Empire flag and law of 1876, enacted that day and forevermore until today, 2022. Anyone telling you any other narrative, Indigenous, UNDRIP, Aboriginal, blah, 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 natural law, or any other law, here is your absolute law that the RCMP will always follow forever and a day. See that? 1876. Treaty 6 and all treaty Indians across Canada. You are the savage. You will be brutalized as Britain intended prior to World War II, during the time of League of Nations. That is the law for all savage Indian, Métis, and Inuit, under the heading of Great Britain's Crown, assumed again, folks, by all provincial politicians elected and appointed, as well as all federal politicians elected and appointed. This is the absolute law enforceable throughout Canada every day, every minute, every second of your lives, forever. See, this is the province of Alberta, province of Canada, and the 1876 Indian Act to be administered on all those in the Treaty 6 Indian lands. You're Indians. In fact, you're savage Indians. You will find, if you continue to read the laws, all Canadians, specifically in the province of Alberta, all Albertans are classed first, second, and third. For a vast, vast majority of Albertans, you are third-class slaves. Some of you have graduated to second class, who are loyal to the first class, divine politicians elected and appointed. If you don't follow the third-class laws enshrined in your Constitutional Act 1867 and all amendments, as well as the consolidation of 1982, you will be reduced to third class. Now, every province runs like this in Canada. So do all territories. Anyone telling you anything else outside of the League of Nations, British Empire, during the enactment of 1876 Indian Act that is alive and well today in Canada, 2022, is lying to you. They're all liars. This is the absolute law. This is what's enacted and absolutely enforced right there by the RCMP, who are the military, are the federal, are the provincial, and are the municipal police. Again, read your Constitution, all 112 pages, and you will find the truth and validity. And as law states, they have to show you this, just as in the city of Spruce Grove, they show you all three flags, all three laws. Laws for the Indians, laws of Canada, and laws of the province. Anything outside of that is only subject to these three entities. First-class Canadians, second-class Canadians, third-class Canadians, and the savage Indian. And third class is basically the slave, as it was during the age of the Titanic, but became no more absolutely after World War II, thanks to your victorious allies. Has Canada changed its constitution? Has it changed its country's definition? The answer is absolutely 100% no. They haven't moved on. It's why Canada is not allowed in the United Nations Security Council. Stephen Harper had us thrown out, and Justin Trudeau can never get us back in. Doesn't matter whom you elect, Canadians. You will never, ever be allowed in the United Nations Security Council ever again. Because, one, you have laws like the 1876 Indian Act alive and well today in the country called Canada, represented by that big flag. And then you have all the provincial legislatures who follow it entirely, refusing to enact all of Section 92, backed up by Section 38, the V, provincial constitutionalism. There is none. And because of that, folks, we are not allowed to be represented in any international lawmaking. We are contrary. This is the truth forever and a day. The RCMP and all police forces follow this system, this legal system, this system of governance, highest law of the land, the Crown, or sworn to it, as are all government employees, as is the entire justice system. If you ever want to know how it works, get off your ass today. Stop listening to YouTube. Stop listening to anybody. Go on the Canadian government website. Look up Lewis and Hole's Constitutional Act of Canada 1867, consolidated 1982. There you can read every amendment, absolutely every law ever made in the highest authority of Canada and how it works. Anyone who doesn't do that is just an idiot, a liar, a degenerate, and no good for any narrative inside Canada. You're just a walking zombie Dumbo, making it up as you go along to make yourself feel better. Feel-good lies aren't going to make your life any better. Like a drug addict, you take these poison pills, you hide from the truth, and eventually, the lies catch up, the lifestyle catches up, and you destroy yourself mentally, and everything else. This is the highest authority of Canada. Right there. We show you it all. Savage Indian, federal crown, provincial crown. And this is just the province of Alberta. 1876 Savage Indian Act by the British League of Nations, who used to rule. Don't rule anymore. That flag is contrary to the United Nations Charter, 1946, contrary to the victorious allies, United States of America, yes, Russia, yes, China, yes, UK itself, and yes, absolutely France. That shit doesn't exist in the United Kingdom anymore. Does the royal family pump it out? Absolutely. Does the Catholic Church pump it out? Absolutely. Canada is contrary to the world since World War II. It's in gross violation to everyone who gave their lives for to fight in World War II. Contrary. Say it again. It is why we are kicked out forever from the United Nations Security Council. Canada is not allowed in. Doesn't matter if you like Pierre Poilievre or Justin Trudeau or Jagmeet Singh. Canada, as it is legally designed, right here, represented for you all in full truth, and represented as well on the Government of Canada's website, if you take the time to read all 112 pages with its 11 amendments, Canadian Constitutional Act of Canada. That is the highest authority of Canada, represented by these three flags. Savage Indian, 1876, British League of Nations. Canada, federal government, Section 91. This is Alberta, but there are 10 more provinces, 3 more territories represented by provincial crown. That is the only system of legality in Canada. Enforceable, enacted forever and a day, 1867, and consolidated with 1982. And there's other amendments. In fact, 82 is just one of 11 amendments, folks. The Charter is one page of 112. You want to know how your country works? Absolutely, 100% legally. Read the Constitutional Act of Canada. 1867 and 1982 consolidated with the Bill of Rights, with the Charter. Again, Bill of Rights, if you read your Constitution, only affects Quebec. Everybody else is on the Charter. What does the Bill of Rights and Charter really mean? Absolutely sweet nothing for the savage Indian, represented in full law, 1876, while that's illegal, as well as, sadly, for all the provinces reflected, Section 92, like this flag, called the province of Alberta. Canada controls absolutely the Charter, decides how it applies to 1, to the right, the savage Indian, and 2, to the left, the savage third class slave Canadian, average Joe Jane. Canada decides whomever you've elected Prime Minister through his crown, Governor General, and all Lieutenant Governors of the provinces. They're sworn to Governor General. Governor General sworn to your Prime Minister. Absolute full executive power of the first class. You want to learn about it? Again, read your Constitution, 1867 to 1982. All amendments there, 112 pages. Do it. Wake yourself up. Learn your own civics, because Canada isn't going to give it to you. The police, they know it. They even throw it in your face right here as before you. We've never lied to you, they say. It's right here. There's the savage Indian. There's the third-class slave. And there's us, Canada, the Crown. And we will beat the hell out of you. Do whatever we want to you. We don't follow any civil rights, human rights. We make them up as the Crown tells us to. That's it. Bye now.